on ground, serve with pride, never back down from the fight. Deserts and the city streets, we keep pushing through the night. Battle tested, battle ready, earn respect through blood and sweat. Unapologetic veterans and we ain't finished yet. Veterans speaking truth, real stories. Breaking down the walls, tearing through the lies. This is our time to rise. From the Corps to the Army, Navy, Air Force to Coast Guard, standing ready, red, white, and blue. No filter on the mic, just the truth we bring. Welcome to the show where the real vets sing. Unapologetic veterans, turn it up loud. We served, we fought, we stand proud.
Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of the Unapologetic Veterans Podcast. As you can see, I have my host up here already because, you know what, I'm not going to beat around the bush today. We're just going to go ahead and jump into it and get started. Some of y'all may remember him. We had him in his partner, business partner, friend, family, Ty from SFH on here. But this is Lance, as his name says. I'm sure some of y'all remember. And welcome, man. How you doing?
Good, man. I'm glad to be back and hang out and talk about some interesting subjects.
Yeah, I mean, hey, let's stir the pot a little bit and see if we can put I don't like the phrase stir the pot per se, like directly stir the pot. I like
sometimes it's necessary because you got to get that sticky stuff off the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. But I also like looking at the other side of it, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has different opinions, and typically, you get two sides and then they just want to fight. But, I don't, why do we have to fight? Why can't we just agree to
the thing is
agreement?
If people pay attention, differences is what can build us to be the strength that's really needed in today's society to surpass all the negativity, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I joined your live, what was it, Wednesday? And you had a lot of really interesting topics. And I thought about some of the stuff that we talked about in a little bit more detail, a little bit. I took a different approach to it. So one of the topics, and I'm kind of paraphrasing because,
you're fine. Go for it.
I don't remember exactly how you phrased it, but
don't ask me. I got a TBI. You can tell me I said anything.
You brought up unity, and basically it boiled down to, with the people that were on the panel, what does it mean to them? How do they view unity? Or do we feel that we as a people, a group today, are united? And if I remember correctly, my answer to you was September 12th, 2001.
Absolutely.
And I would argue that in the last 25 years, we'll say, that's probably the most united this country's been. And as a group, as a military, as veterans, as just Americans, cold-blooded American. But my question to you is, since I'm in charge on this one, my question to you is, what do you think about today's culture and climate with unity? Where do you think we are? We'll start there.
Do we want to start with the veteran community, or do we want to start as a community as a whole?
Let's start with the veteran community.
Okay, because I mean, one of the things that we've both seen is the controversy between people all signed a dotted line. They just chose a different MOS, and therefore they had a different task in life. And some may think one is less than the other. And if it weren't for the one on the left, the one on the right wouldn't exist. So people need to, within the ranks of the veteran communities, stop being smitten by their own um, dialect and heroism, and realize that they wouldn't be in the place that they were or have the things that they had if it weren't for those other veterans, no matter what your MOS or ranking is. I don't care if you're a cook and you never went outside the wire. If you went outside the wire every fucking day, it doesn't matter. We all
Yeah.
have a purpose.
Let's chat with a veteran. Hey, I appreciate you joining us, man. He says every part of the
Thanks,
military
man.
builds off the other. Um, he's right,
100.
100%. And actually, it's fitting. I didn't even think about this till just right this second. It's fitting that you're here right now because you're a corpsman,
Yep.
right? And as a corpsman, you could be green side, you could be blue side, and yeah, there may be some say into where you kind of go, but like at the end of
Well,
the day,
it's just like infantry and Pogue. Those who don't know what Pogue is, personnel other than grunt. It's like a brother mentality, though. We can pick on each other within, but you don't seriously feel that way. And it's people now think that we seriously feel that way. No, those are our brothers in arms. The majority of us do not feel that way.
yeah,
It takes the whole team.
yeah, no, exactly. I mean, there's certain people that, and I've said this before, don't let what you did define who you are. Use it as a stepping stone, you know. But there's people that the combat portion of who they are, it's their whole identity.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, there's a special nod to those people who did some of those things. Absolutely, right? But it's not for, like in my case, it's not because I didn't want to do it.
Right.
Like I would have loved to do that, but the Marine Corps had other ideas for me.
Yeah. No, I
I
mean, and
didn't.
that's just like, especially as junior enlisted, you don't choose your orders. Your orders are chosen for you. Okay, where are the numbers needed? That's where you go. You're gonna guaranteed that even as a grunt, you're not guaranteed that unit's gonna deploy.
Yeah,
So I mean, you can't judge people by that. Oh, you didn't go outside the wire. Hell, I never even got a chance. Some people may not even got a chance to sit inside the wire. So, I mean, at least you got that chance, if that makes sense. Because you
yeah,
had the opportunity to put rounds down range does not allow you the arrogance to judge those that made sure that you had those rounds to put down range. Bottom line.
exactly. Exactly. Like there's a lot that goes into getting that person there. Just because somebody didn't physically pull a trigger, or in some cases drive or patrol, doesn't mean that they didn't have a very integral part of getting you to there or doing that thing, right? Um,
Right.
I know plenty of people who have a lot of, I don't want to say resentment, but kind of, I guess resentment is probably the best way to say that. Resentment towards the military because they weren't afforded that opportunity. That is why they joined the military, was to go to combat and do that. I have a buddy of mine whose dad, or his grandfather, was a Vietnam vet. His dad was Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Panama,
Mhm.
like in that kind of, or no, not Panama. I don't remember, but it's not important. But and they all went and did stuff. You know, his grandfather deployed to Vietnam, whether it was willfully or not.
Probably thinking Somalia.
Yeah, maybe it was Somalia. I can't remember. But and then he enlisted. He did 8 years and never left the United States.
Right.
And it was just because he left, or he did 4 years and then moved to another unit, and that unit had deployed the year prior, so they weren't deploying. And I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate, but when you're, like you said, when you're a lower enlisted, junior enlisted, like they may say, hey, do you want to go to Camp Lejeune or Camp Pendleton? But they already know where they're going to send you. They're just being nice and asking.
But I'm also going to say there's a lot of things that I saw outside the wires that I wouldn't wish on anyone to see.
Mm-hmm.
So, to some of those veterans, I say take it as a blessing, because there are things that we're seeing outside of there that can never be unseen.
Mm-hmm.
So, everything happens for a reason, and your job is not any less than anyone else's job. Bottom line, we're all in this fight together.
100%. Absolutely. Say it again for the people in the back that they
right. I hear you.
tinnitus. I've got headphones in, but my ears are ringing.
I don't know why so many people forgot about the whole United part of United States. It drives me absolutely bonkers. But like I said, I mean, it starts with just a simple 1% of our nation going against each other. You know what I mean? So it starts with them. Stop going against each other. We all were one team, one fight on the battlefield. Why the hell are we not one team, one fight now?
Yeah. I mean, the big brother, little brother,
right?
The mentality. It's like the second that the uniform comes off, it's like it's no longer friendly. I in some cases I see that it's more like people legitimately take it personally. And I just, why? Like I go, I scroll through TikTok and I see lives with people and they're just screaming at each other over a disagreement. And, in the corner of TikTok, it says, hey, there's so many people watching you. And there'll be 50, 60 people over there. And then I'll scroll to the next live where people are actually having important discussions about issues that truly affect each and every one of us. Exactly. And 4 of them are in a box. Yeah, it's sad. It breaks my heart. I mean, to be honest with you, like there's so much divide.
Yeah, society have a huge yeah.
And the social media, the social media thing, it's a blessing and a curse. It's that catch-22. Yeah, it pushes information to everybody. We all have cell phones. I ain't met somebody in 15 years that doesn't have a cell phone. Now I have met
technology hinders and hurts us on a daily basis.
Exactly. And so it's great. It's a great tool if you use it for that, but it can also be the exact opposite where it can just breed and fester negativity.
Anything that can be used for good can be sent the other side of the pendulum and used for bad.
Absolutely.
You hear me talk about that pendulum all the time, but it's that ever swaying humanity and decisions that we make every day, whether we want to be on which side of the pendulum we want to be on.
Yeah, no,
and only we can choose that.
Absolutely. Now, what would you do? Not necessarily you, but like, what would you suggest to help change that? If you had a magic wand, what would you do?
The bullshit not having the unity in the veteran community is just that they just need to get over each other's high horse or ego or whatever it is and realize it's one team, one fight, as it always has been. We all signed that same dotted line. We all had different experiences and we can bring different things to the table, no matter what your walk of life was. Now, with a nation. Whew. That's not as cut and dry, my friend.
I would wholeheartedly agree.
Honestly, as a nation that many envy because we have never fallen, it may literally be time for us to regroup, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, but the lack of unity and division that's in our nation right now is spread by the fact that we don't know any facts. Everyone is on their own assumption. Everyone is choosing the side that they want to be on without looking for the facts.
Mhm.
Because if people would find the facts, they'd realize that we're really not that different, left, right, no matter what your religion is. At the end of the day, the majority, I truly feel, just wants this to be a better place for their children and have a better life and make a positive chapter each time you make that new chapter.
Oh, absolutely.
And we have a very small minority that literally sits on a pedestal these days and controls that. And they, as always, when it comes to politics, religion, or other things that most countries fight about, it's an ego struggle, and it's my means and mission is more important than yours, instead of, well, there's some good in your mission, there's some good in my mission. Why can't we find that common ground and unite our states again by
100%.
what we did before, coming to each other with our differences? Me and you are not going to agree on everything. If we did, it would be a boring freaking place. It would be a boring life to live if everybody agreed on everything that everybody said.
Oh, absolutely.
But I feel like we also mature and we also evolve by learning the ways others have had to deal with life, because we can't walk in their shoes. Much like one of the things that me and Tyler say when we're out sharing our story. Tyler's a triple amputee, and people look at him and like my story's not as bad as yours, and he'll be the first one to tell him is like, no, your story matters and it deserves to be heard, and you deserve to know that you're not alone. Nobody's story one ups the other story because it's
Mhm.
yours. You lived it and it affected you, and that's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's the empathy, I think, was the big thing that kept being brought up in that live, and I think we have grown very cold and frigid, and there is very little empathy.
I would agree, but I think from a different standpoint. But before I get to that, so let's chat with with veterans. Said the shame of it is most people won't take the time to seek out the truth. They would rather just go along with what the social media influencer says to follow. That is going to tie into what I was about to say. So yes, I think we've lost the ability to be empathetic. A lot of us. But again, goes back to social media.
Mhm.
This right here. The ability to have everything on your fingertips. You no longer have to have a conversation with somebody to get some information. So it's it's kind of cold, right? You wake up in the morning, you look at your phone, and for a lot of people, that is where they get their
I'll
news.
say it. Nobody else wants to say it. This is a mental health crisis right here.
100%.
Having this in your hand and able to carry it everywhere you go. This is a mental health crisis right here. Not many people want to say it, but that's truly what that is.
We need to go back to dial up. I said
I
it.
think. So But I mean, but
Yeah.
you have the opportunity no matter where you're at. And especially our younger generations, as brains isn't aren't fully developed and so much information is coming in that they can't process it.
Mhm.
And it's just
Yeah.
wild. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I would agree, right? I was having a conversation with my wife a few days ago about something, and that popped into my head. Like, if you go somewhere, it used to be I've got my wallet and I got my keys. Actually,
Mhm.
you ever heard that Adam Sandler skit where it's phone, wallet, passport, keys? He does a little
Uh,
skit, and he's like the things he carries with him, and then by the end of it,
mhm,
it's like a whole backpack full of stuff, right? But it used to just be, your wallet and your keys, and depending on how long ago, it's just your keys. But
mhm.
now it's phone. For a lot of people, the phone is their keys. It's the key to their house. It's the key to their vehicle. It's the key to their office. They don't have physical
That scares the
keys
shit out of
anymore.
me anyway, but go ahead.
Dude,
Mhm.
my truck doesn't have a shift for four-wheel drive. That scares me. It's a button, and it
It's a
absolutely
bu
drives me wild.
I've seen that.
It's absolutely it drives me wild. Like, I feel
Mm,
like I need to shift it into 4 high,
right.
not
Absolutely.
don't let
Like, no, that isn't the real thing. Are you sure it's
exactly.
locked in? I don't know.
The first smart
I
car
feel
I
you.
bought the first smart car I bought a manual just to make sure that everything was okay.
There you
Like,
go.
I've gotta be able to do this on my own. I don't have to you know, rely on technology, but it's like it's it's everywhere. So it's 100% a mental health crisis because, and I get it, that's the way the world as a whole is going, but where do you
But
stop?
it was not supposed to take place of people sitting across from each other and having real conversations. That was not its purpose.
Oh,
It was
absolutely.
and that's what we lack these days. Actually confronting each other, standing face to face and having a conversation. Hell, there's some teenagers that can't even do that because every conversation they have is on here,
Mhm.
and it's sad.
Yeah, it's again, it's a blessing and a curse, right?
Yeah.
The convenience and the convenience of it has destroyed everything. You know, I like to run. I watch a lot of running stuff, and there's a runner that I follow, and he runs without headphones, runs without
Mhm.
a cell phone. He has a smartwatch just to track how far he goes, but it doesn't, other than that, it really doesn't
Right.
do anything. But he says that he runs without that because that is the distraction for him focusing on running. He said, I have to hear my foot beats. He's like, I have to hear myself breathing.
Mhm.
He said, it's a distraction. He said, even if I don't look at it, I don't touch it, it's just there. He's like, I know it's there. He's, it just distracts me. And I started to think
And
about it
and
like,
and it's incredible if you do 30 minutes to an hour a day, just unplug from everything, you and nature, and just take a walk. It
Mhm.
really helps you. I do it every morning, for that because I'm only as I can't help others if I'm not taking care of myself first. It took it you can, but you can only help them so far as you are. But as long as you continue to heal, you can continue to heal others, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you can't heal you can't heal others if your cup's empty. You
Right,
have to fill
absolutely.
your own cup first, right?
Yeah,
That's yeah, like that's a phrase that I've always heard is, if your cup's empty, you have nothing to give.
yeah.
So, but like I I don't know. I mean, I don't know how we'll ever come back from this. I mean, hell, my kids both have iPads in school.
I think, honestly, it will become I think that one-on-one, face-to-face conversations will come back.
I
I
hope so.
think the need for that bond, that seeing that person, that smile, those facial expressions that you can only truly feel in person. Um, I think I truly think it will return, but it's going to take us as a large portion to show that our true love and compassion lies, because it's really hard to convince people that you can't find love on social media when it's a lot crazier out there in the real world. You know what I mean? It's like, well, okay, how do you battle that? It's like, okay, they're like, well, these relationships are comfortable because I can just, click left or click right. But
Mhm.
so
No, you're 100% right. I would add to that. I think, or maybe what are your thoughts on this? But I think COVID put advanced this problem tenfold because we forced everybody to, basically become recluses for a little while, and
it
some places for a
is
long
that
while.
in the ones that yeah, this is a touchy subject with me for a lot of reasons. I have to let everybody know I'm in Florida, so we weren't closed very long. Um, ugh, the social anxiety that was put on today's children, that are now coming in to elementary school age, is unreal
Mhm.
because of COVID. Those are the ones that are your COVID babies, and their first few years was just at home. They weren't able to go anywhere and all that kind of stuff. And the anxiety alone, my wife's a kindergarten teacher. The anxiety alone that they've seen in the rise is just scary,
Mhm. Yeah,
because they
it's
they didn't have any interaction except with those couple of people in their house. The ones that do better were the ones that had more siblings.
yeah, it's kind of like the homeschool versus public school, back in the,
Yeah.
I say back in the 90s, but 10, 15 years ago. Um, I've had some friends that were homeschooled that are the same age as me, all the way up until they were a senior in high school,
Mhm.
and they talk about that all the time.
It's safety over exposure, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Um, or at least it can be. It can be safety over exposure when it comes to homeschooling and public schooling. But as our youth matures, they need to have those consequences put in front of them, so that they learn how to react. And the only way to do that is to actually put them in an open environment. So it, but again, that can go back to, you can see both sides in today's society. I mean,
Mhm.
you can't fault a parent for wanting to homeschool, especially when there's so many out there that are, again, they're on an agenda. They're
Yeah,
not teaching to inspire. They're on an agenda, and
yeah,
people need
we're
to either get on the same agenda or just crush all the agendas, and let's work together and make this a better place at the end of the day.
no, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, me and my wife are actually thinking about homeschooling our kids, and it actually has nothing to do with the agenda per se. It's, I guess it does, but it's more about they're no longer teaching for kids to learn. They're teaching for a standardized test. They could give a shit less if the students actually learn a thing other than what is on that standardized test.
Well,
And
in a lot of states, there's No Child Left Behind anyway, so they move forward either way.
yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's sad, and I'm definitely kind of, I don't want to say nervous, but maybe a little worried for what that looks like for my kids growing up and having to go through the public school system. Well, I guess, I could put them into a private or homeschool, but going through that school process and how they come out on the end, knowing what I know now and seeing what I see now, and
Now you
waiting.
currently have 2, and you have a third one on the way. How old are the 2 that you have now?
So I have a 5 and it'll be a 10-year-old next week or in 2 weeks.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I mean, like I was saying, I mean, you can't fault. I I don't fault you. I don't fault anyone who chooses either way. I get both sides because there's negatives to both sides and there's positives to both sides. Um, and I think that if done correctly, the education will be the same,
Mhm.
if not better with the one-on-one, when it
Oh,
comes to that.
I totally agree. And so the last topic for tonight, um, yeah, the last topic. Let me see what time it is. Okay, yeah, the last
You're
topic
good.
for tonight. So, in about a week and a half ish,
Alright.
it's the 250th birthday for the United States Marine Corps,
Yep.
and boy, I tell you, man, I wish I was still in. Wish I had that chance to put that blues coat on one more time and go out there and uh and celebrate. Matter of fact, uh, no, I don't have the my 250th coin, but I do have
There
uncommon
you
valor,
go.
uncommon valor, uncommon virtue, and then that's some sergeant rank right there.
Nice.
Um, man, I tell you that I remember probably my second ball. I was like, man, I don't really want to go. Like, you got to put your uniform on, and it's all this. Like, can we skip this part? But man, I'm telling you, since I've been out, I watch the birthday message 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
I
balls are
will.
fun.
I
I'll take a
I
Marine Corps ball over a Navy ball any day. I went to I wait a minute, let's see. I went to 2 Navy balls my whole career, and I went to I don't know how many Marine Corps balls, so that'll tell you something right there.
yeah. I
So it's
wish
they hit different. They just hit different.
sometimes I wish I was closer to a Marine Corps base so I could go to a Marine Corps ball. I mean,
Right.
I'm an hour and a half ish from an Army base. There's an Air Force base that's probably about the same, but I'm 8, 9, maybe 12 hours from a Marine Corps base. So
Gotcha. Yeah,
I got
that's
to
a
go
bit
to
of a
the recruiting station, the recruiting stations, and finds out where these guys are doing their balls at. Got to join in.
there you go.
But man, I appreciate your time as always.
No
I
worries.
was just thinking, I know you guys are traveling, and I'll let you get into and let everybody know where you guys are going to be in the next few days or over
Okay.
the next few days.
All right.
But I'd like to make this a regular thing, coming up with some of these topics and, going and doing these on TikTok and then coming back here and kind of recapping all of this stuff. Cause I think it's good. I think it's good
Yeah.
conversations to have. People need to talk about these things, they need to address them. And it's important for not only us, but future generations, future veterans, future
Right.
people in America.
No, and I say it often. We can choose to sit in that dark hole, or we can choose to heal loudly to set kind of a roadmap for those behind us to help them heal so that they don't have to take as long. Um,
So absolutely, because um, I got one topic that we talked about in your live that I didn't talk about this time that I'd like to get Ty on here again, and then I've got another person I'd like to have on here, and I'd like to bring up that one because I think the perspective of both you and Ty
Mhm.
will really kind of fit to where I'd like that discussion to go, and I'd to love to have you both and continue that. I mean, maybe this time we can get Ty's mic to work for him.
Yeah, we'll figure something out, man. Definitely, we'll get back on here soon and go over some good topics, and I hope to make it probably at least a Wednesday thing, a Wednesday lunch thing, and just throw some topics out there and see how many people came in. I was really surprised on how many people, not, people come in and they come out, but there was a lot of people that just stayed in there. And I was like, okay, people are actually listening to the conversation, which is what I want to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it was a good crowd in there and some
Yeah.
really good opinions and some advice as well. And I like it. I think we should definitely, if time allows, to continue that. So I knew me and you
Yeah,
talked a little bit before this.
endure the diversity. I mean, there's diversity
Yeah.
out there for endure it. Don't look at it as a negative thing. I mean, it's what's going to make us stronger is how diverse. There's so many of us that have so many skills that some of us probably haven't even unlocked yet because somebody else has to recognize it because we don't. If that makes sense at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
So
but
where are you going
yeah.
to be in the next couple of weeks?
Well, if you are in the Central Florida area, we will be on Fox 35 News for multiple times on Veterans Day and throughout the holidays, talking about We Are SFH Clothing and Apparel, and who Ty and I are. We get that opportunity to get interviewed next week. And then we are
Hell yeah.
doing a ruck run with the Camaraderie Foundation on November 1st. And then we hit the road to Hoover, Alabama, to a Dude in the Jeep Foundation's first event in Hoover, Alabama. And that's what
Hell
we got
yeah.
going on for the next month.
That that'll probably it'll feel like a month.
Oh yeah. Tuesday, I'm speaking to 250 transitioning veterans at Amazon
Okay.
about resilience.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Look at SFH doing big things out there. Hell yeah. And
I'm
also
trying.
shout out to Scrappy, or AKA Dude in the Jeep,
Yeah.
AKA the Dude in the Jeep Foundation. Like Lance said, his first event in Hoover, Alabama, November 9th.
Yep.
I'm excited for him. Like, that dude has been putting in the work, man, and I'm excited for him.
Oh yeah.
Well, Lance, I appreciate your
Good
time.
things when good people have good things happen to them, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, brother, I appreciate your time. I'm gonna drop you down to close this out, and then if you want to hang out, we can shoot the breeze for a little bit, and then we'll get out of here.
Sounds good, man.
All right, brother. Wow, guys. Hey, I appreciate Lance as always, man. His perspective on everything is it's different. He looks at it in a different light, and that's what we need, right? Him, Ty, and SFH, they're doing big things out there for the community and just in general, their stories, their mission. If y'all don't know, go check them out. They are phenomenal, phenomenal guys. And then, like he said, or well, he mentioned, and then I said as well, Scrappy, aka Dude in the Jeep, aka the Dude in the Jeep Foundation, November 9th, Hoover, Alabama. He's doing a pretty large event, live music. Sounds like there's going to be some inflatables. I think I seen a video on that today. A bunch of food, bunch of people, like good time. If you're available, go out, support your brothers and sisters in the community. I mean, it's what we need. more stuff like that, getting people out, hey, let's go get a drink, or let's go have some coffee, let's go get some food, let's get together, that camaraderie, that sense of feeling again. Like, we need that. I appreciate everybody for tuning in and listening. For those of you that have watched live tonight, and those of you that are going to listen on the audio version, I appreciate it. We're going to have some more episodes between me and Lance. Maybe I get Ty back on here again if we can get his microphone to work on StreamYard. And then I've got some other things going on. I've got the second part of the accountability episode that'll be coming out here soon. So I appreciate everybody. Y'all stay blessed, and remember, stay unapologetic.